Good morning. Welcome back to the Gratitude Incarnate podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Rose, and this is the Daily Divine Download. So, I've been MIA again for the last couple of days. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and I'm not going to make a bunch of excuses. I'm just going to ask for your forgiveness for not recording the podcast for the last couple of days. So, like I said, I've got a lot of downloads lately, and I feel more connected with God, with the universe, with the powers that be more than ever, okay? I've received all these downloads, and they've been incredibly powerful. And most of them have been centered around this idea that, everything that we want is already ours. Everything I want is already mine, okay? Because I want it. And I know that in this current paradigm that we live in, this current society, you're not taught to believe that. You're not taught a lot of things that make you more powerful, okay? I could talk about this for a long time, but it's really not relevant to the podcast. But know that there are other powers out there that control society to a degree and have programmed the minds of most of the world, especially in America, to take our power away from us. And I am so very grateful that the veil has been lifted from my eyes, that the fog has cleared, that I can see the light and I can reprogram my mind. And really that was the big download that I got yesterday. Yesterday morning I woke up, and I've told you guys before, the morning time is sometimes when I wake up, I feel like all of the negative things that I didn't process properly the day before kind of slaps me in the face the next morning when I wake up, like, hey, are you going to deal with this or what? So that was kind of where I was at yesterday morning. And, I woke up feeling very frustrated and angry, about some things that had recently transpired in my life. And almost instantly, I would say within 5 minutes, maybe a little more, I had a realization that was a bad, let's not say bad, that was a negative way to spend my energy on that frustration and that anger. It wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving anyone. And it usually doesn't. I do believe in righteous anger. I do believe there are times when those feelings serve us. But first thing in the morning when no one else is around me is definitely not serving me. So I instantly went into my gratitude list. And then I moved on to a positive playlist. Okay, and then I reached out to someone that I love to tell them how grateful I am for them. I reached out to my dad and I said, hey, I just want to thank you for everything that you do for me and everything that you are. And I went to all of these techniques that I've learned over the last few years. And I noticed how quickly I shifted out of those feelings. And you guys, I remember about 4 years ago when I was feeling depressed and I was at such a dark place, it was so difficult for me to shift out of that. I knew about gratitude practice. I knew about shifting your mindset. I knew all of those things. But in the moment when I was feeling the emotion, I didn't want to be grateful. I didn't want to shift my energy. I wanted to stay angry. I wanted to stay frustrated. And I justified how I felt and the negative things that I did to, falsely process those feelings. So yesterday, I had this download, you know, like, wow, look at how far I've come. Look at how much easier it is for me now than it was then. And that's what I want to talk to you about today is like, if you're going through a process, if you're making a change in your life, if you're transitioning to a new phase or a new stage, a new chapter, the beginning is probably going to be kind of tough. You know, there's going to be times where you're going to question yourself. There's going to be times where you're going to think, oh, you know, this is just a bunch of bull, you know, this isn't how it really works. That's what I remember thinking. You know, I remember a few years ago, really, maybe even a year ago, 6 months ago, you know, I can see the gradual progression of how I've learned to focus on gratitude and shift out of those negative emotions. Okay. And that's the thing. I'm not here, I've told you before, I'm not here to preach toxic positivity. I'm not here to tell you you need to be positive all the time. What I'm here to tell you today is just to take notice. Be aware of where you're at. Be grateful for it. And know that with time and practice, you'll get to where you want to be. If you keep taking the action, if you keep making the baby steps, after time, you will find yourself where you want to be. What you want is already yours. It's already here. I've told you this before. Bob Proctor said, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. You know, that's where we have to get to. We have to see it in our mind. And once we see it there, the rest sort of works itself out. Maybe not in your timing, but in divine timing, it will work itself out. Okay? So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today is just, you know, be grateful for that process. Be grateful for your growth and recognize it. And there's something else that I want to leave you with today that's kind of been on my mind. It's a concept that was brought to my attention yesterday, and I think it's really valuable. And I think that if we all spread this message, we can very quickly make the world a better place. I know it sounds like a cliche thing. You've probably been hearing all your life, you know, every beauty pageant contestant in America always talks about making the world a better place, but really that's what we're here for, you guys. We're here to make ourselves better, and we're here to make this planet better, and we have the power to do that. So this last little thing that I want to leave you with is when you've realized that manifestation, when you've, you know, got whatever it is that you've been manifesting. You know, for me, in this instance, I was manifesting quicker mindset shifts. So when I had that realization, it's so important that we feel that energy. And what I want to encourage you to do is sit with that energy for a moment, and you will physically feel it in your body. You might get goosebumps. The hair on your arms might stand up. You might feel a tingly sensation in your body or a warm sensation in your body. And what I want you to do, this is how you can make the world a better place. So pay attention. What I want you to do is visualize that energy moving up through your body, through your toes, through your legs, through your torso, from your head down to your heart. Build it all up in your heart. Build it like a ball. Let that ball travel into your hands, okay? Visualize it. And then when you have it all built up, I want you to shoot that energy back out into the universe, okay? You've received the energy, and now that you've accomplished what it is that you wanted, it's time to give that energy back to the universe. And when we release that energy, you guys, we are expanding the consciousness of the planet. We are making the world a better place when we pour all of that positive, loving energy back into the world. And I know to some people that might sound like, woo-woo spiritual talk, but you guys, it's actually science, okay? You are an energy being, and you obviously have the ability to send this energy back out into the world. And know that it doesn't take anything away from you to give this energy back out, okay? As you develop new desires, new manifestations, that energy will build again. And what you're doing when you release that energy is you are creating space in your body for new manifestations, new visualizations, okay? New desires. So that's what I want to leave you with today. If you have any questions about this episode, any comments, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know what you think about this episode in the Q&A question. You can reach me at gratitudeincarnate@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Gratitude Incarnate as well. I'd really love to hear from you guys. If you have any suggestions on future episodes, I'd love to take those recommendations as well. Thank you so much for listening. I want you to have a grateful day.